All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're back tonight, and we're starting up a new game of Legendinthemist, which we have played on the channel before. We played it for a good long while, like good 6-7 months or so, I think, something like that. But we had our own little Songs of Autumn. But this is a different campaign we're going to be doing, because we're actually going to be using some of the Hearts of Ravensdale campaign material that is coming out very, very soon. And so we're gonna dive into that, play some of the starter adventures, and see what we can break. And Jeremy has already promised that he is going to pick a fight with the first NPC that he sees, and immediately try to throw us off the game. Right?
That's what I do.
That's what he said.
Okay. I want to make sure it's documented, it's recorded, and so.
And you said the first NPC we meet is going to be John Cena.
Yeah.
I want to be able to.
I tried to get him to be a player. I really did.
He's here. You just
like, it's right there in the name.
Can't see him.
Oh, yeah, he's behind Joe. Yeah, that's right.
We couldn't even get him his own webcam.
We could. Yeah, he's just standing behind you. He's probably shorter than Joe, I would think, because Joe's 47 feet tall, right? It doesn't. You would think he's not looking at his position in the frame, but Joe's really about like 30 feet tall.
Giant.
He is a giant.
He's average.
I am tall. I'm
about?
3 inches taller than him because I'm 6'4" and he's 6'1".
Yeah,
so.
average height.
Yeah.
You're 6'4".
Oh my gosh.
I am.
Taller than I
Crazy.
thought.
It's those Kansas boys. We're doing rustic folk fantasy, and this is rustic folk fantasy. The two of them are like 6'7", and then like our old friend Chuck, he's 6'4" too.
Yeah, Chuck.
Yeah, he's the same height as me.
Was tall.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I lie and say I'm 5'10".
Yep.
And I lie and say I'm 5'6".
I'm 5'16".
I'm
People just let you have
genuinely
it.
5'7".
Okay. Since we're sharing our heights for some reason, I'm 6, like on the dot. I'm like right on the button. So it's good.
You look 6. You look 6 foot. I
have
don't
a
know
giant
why.
head. My head is enormous. It really is. Like, it's very, very big. I can't fit in the hats. It's very frustrating. And I feel like
have the same problem.
a third of my height is my head. I'm like a bobblehead doll in real life. It's so frustrating. Yeah. I don't know. It's rough. It really is. I can't fit into hats anymore. Like, I've been trying to buy hats for various games, and I can't fit into them. So I just give them to Melissa, because every time I get them, I put them on, and like they're not even close. So
Aw.
Speaking of hats, Steven, I thought you said we were going to have a hat for your. Where are you doing? Let's take a look.
Are we ready for this? Can we get drum roll?
Yes.
Let's
I
get
thought
the
it was going to be there.
anticipation really high so that everyone is let down by this.
Okay. It's a Santa hat. What? You're a pirate? It's like a. What is that? Is that a Dave hat? What is that?
It's a surf hat.
Oh, I
It's
thought
what
your
the poor people
costume
would
was
wear.
Wendy.
My wife said that if I
I
came
like
home from
it.
the beach, this is what I look like.
Love it.
Yeah. That's
Is it a hat, or
That's
is it just
fair.
like two bandanas tied together?
I was gonna say, I don't know if it's a hat.
Maybe
Someone
it's like
should just cloth for your head.
It's like one of those cloth bags you get for groceries, but you just cut
Okay.
the handle.
Yeah. It's adorable,
Did you-
and we love it.
It
and
is.
We love you.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
We do.
Yes.
Thank you.
We do.
Did
Yes.
you
And
wear
it's warm enough
that
in here
shirt
that it
specifically? By the way, with the little stitching and
This is
stuff.
a new shirt too. Yeah, so it's a whole new
Nice.
outfit,
nice.
Ooh.
All right.
and it's warm enough that the red
is-
matches my cheeks right now.
It
Steven's
does.
well ahead of everybody else in his
Ah.
cosplaying. And nobody
So I just
else.
need to grow
Very
a giant
true.
beard and stop wearing anything but underwear.
You got a week. You got a
Okay.
week till next Monday. You can do it. Or you could just do like Ashley does in our Wondering game and buy one and then feel awful for about 2.5 hours as we play.
So hot.
Yeah.
So hot.
Yeah.
She has a hair wig and a
I
beard
have
wig.
no idea
Yeah.
how she's managing. Honestly, I'm so impressed.
That was not a thing
Yeah.
that I was going to do.
Yeah.
Dude,
I know. We're all very disappointed. Okay. Proud of Ashley. Disappointed. Okay. So we're playing Legend of the Mist, and the only person in here who hasn't actually played the Mist engine yet is the guy wearing the hat. Everybody else has played it. Joe, Maitre, you both played Otherscape about a year or so ago. And then Melissa, Jeremy, and I, we've all played both Legendinthemist and Otherscape, so we're relatively familiar, which means we'll probably still get rules wrong and everything. But the basics for those of you who are new, so Steven, it's a 2d6 game. It's really simple. When a situation arises in which you're trying to take an action, I might decide just based upon what you've described and the circumstances of it that you pass or fail, just based upon your tags or the circumstances as it is. If, however, it requires a roll, it's usually either going to be a quick outcome or a detailed outcome. A quick outcome means you just take your 2d6s, you look at your different themes that you have for your character that are all these little words, strings of words and phrases that make up what your character is about, and you figure out which one of those tags or which of those tags actually makes sense, help you towards achieving that task, and for each one of those that you want to activate, you get a +1. And then maybe you even look at a couple of your weaknesses tags, and maybe one of those fits. And if one of those does, you maybe take a -1. And there might be other tags and statuses kind of floating around with the scene or with other NPCs or challenges that you might be encountering. And that also might affect your roll. But so much of the game is about 2d6s and adding up the good tags, adding up the bad tags, and figuring out what your modifier is. There are going to be certain types of rolls where we're going to kind of track your modifier, which is going to be what we call power. Because when we track it in a detailed roll, you might be able to purchase some effects with the power that you end up adding as you put all your tags together. But in quick outcomes, it's usually just, did you do it? Did you not do it? And we move along. There's kind of three ways a roll can go in terms of its outcome. You can succeed without any issues. You can fail, so you get consequences, basically. And then there's also that middle ground where you succeed and get consequences at the same time. So it's usually like one of those three outcomes somewhere along the way. It's a very narrative game, very fluid game. And so we can kind of make stuff up as we go. Not a whole lot of math involved. It's more about just tags and what kind of goes down. I think that's really it for now. One thing I will say is that as we kind of come into certain scenes, each of you will get you'll get a spotlight, like someone will get the go. Like there's no like initiative. We're not going to roll for initiative to see who goes first. Instead, it's going to be based upon the story moment or maybe who hasn't acted recently, something like that. And then I'll ask you to respond. So maybe I'll signal a threat and maybe you try to do something with that threat. Or maybe there's a challenge you're trying to overcome and you try to address it. And you kind of go from there. And when it's your turn to roll, weaknesses you can opt to put into your roll if you want, just one per roll. And if you do, that's how you can kind of improve some of your themes. But if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. And we'll kind of go from there. Generally speaking, we've seen it work for us across Otherscape and across Legendinthemist. Usually like 3 or 4 tags usually kind of get in a roll. Like occasionally it'll be more than that, but usually that's kind of where we sort of soft cap it. But if you think there's more, we can certainly do that too. The last thing I'll say with tags is that sometimes if you really want to go hard at trying to succeed, instead of actually just tapping into your tag, you can burn it or scratch it or whatever. I can't remember the term. I think it's scratch for Legendinthemist. And scratch. That gives you 3. It gives you 3 power. And it means you can't use that tag for a while. You have to get it back at some point later. And there's different ways that you can get it back. But it means you get 3 instead. And so, but you do sacrifice it for a little bit. So like, I know that you carry, like if you're carrying like a weapon and you want to burn it, maybe your weapon breaks and then to get it back, you have to repair it later. Something like that. Okay. Does that make sense?
All good.
Okay. So, are there any questions at the outset before we kind of dive in here?
Not just yet.
Okay.
Can we meet a small child on the road before the real story begins?
Maybe. You want to fight a child?
Fight.
Oh,
is that what you're going to say?
No.
You want to fight a child?
No.
Hey, look.
No.
Content warning. Content warning. Jeremy might fight a child tonight. Oh, goodness. All right. So so we're going to introduce characters in scene. So you'll get to meet these people and we'll kind of go from there. And also one other thing I should say, in certain sequences, like I'll usually try to assign spotlight, but if you want the spotlight, you can call for it. You just ask for it. Like, hey, can I do something? For sure. Like there's not like a specific way we have to go about doing it. We're all friends here, except for Steven. Okay.
He knows what he
I was about to argue.
I was going to say he's paid to be here. Yeah, let's get a little...
We don't discuss wages on the air.
That's just what the man says, right? The only reason
I am
that
the
exists...
man. I'm saying it.
The only reason that exists is because people don't want you knowing other people make, so you can't negotiate for a better salary.
I'm so on board. Jeff.
My tribe are going to start going crazy politics stuff now. No, shouldn't do that. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's get some happy music for now. Okay, so we are in we're in the Dales. Okay, which is so just generally speaking, is this relatively isolated section of country with all sorts of villages and hamlets that are interconnected, different dales, so to speak. They all have various names, and for us, we're gonna open on a kind of a country crossroads, not a road in the paved sense of the word, but more just like a well-trodden path that probably merchants and various tradespeople might have traversed over time. And because of that, you can tell that this is like a route to go. And as we pass through, and as we kind of move down this road, we can see the spring sun is kind of peeking through this relatively overcast morning. And all around us, we can see these beautiful golden barley fields. And some of them are kind of glistening as the sun starts to peek through. We hear from these scattered trees here and there, not forests, but just scattered trees, these songbirds that are kind of huddling in their nests here and there, the chorus chirping a bit. It's all very familiar sounds for us. And we're in what's called Ravensdale, which is a small but fertile valley where barley is a very common sight, and apple orchards dot the landscape north, east, southwest, all the way to the snowy peaks of Greyback Mountain in the distance. There are mostly like small, distant hamlets here and there beyond the dales, but locals are welcome, travelers are welcome. It's a very friendly place. And as we are on this road to the village of what's called Ravenhome, we start hearing laughter that's carrying over some of these harvested stalks. And we zoom in for a second and we see a young girl playing and frolicking by the edge of some very tall barley. And we can see that a little further out, there's like a scarecrow standing up as well. And for those of you from Ravenhome, and we'll meet who those are in a second, you would recognize this young child, this very young girl by the name of Willow. She is known to you as very kind, very heartfelt, but also very precocious. And we zoom in on one of these country paths that are starting to converge into a crossroads. And we see two women walking. I'm going to start with Melissa. As you and your friend, we'll get the MyTrace character in a second, are walking along this beautiful spring morning. Who do we see? Who are you playing? Maybe what have you been talking about as you've been walking?
So I am playing Dimity. You see a woman with long reddish blonde hair. It's kind of in two braids, and she has a very nice looking kind of dress with an apron over it. You wouldn't be able to tell necessarily, but this is of her own making. So she is a needleworker by trade. And if you were to kind of listen in on the conversation with Dimity and Mila, Dimity's side of the conversation is very, oh my word, can you believe at the last sewing circle, I could not even believe that she dared to come. She had just had a falling out earlier that day, and she had the audacity to come as if nothing had happened. And oh my goodness, you should have seen the look on Daisy's face. She was just so... She actually pricked her thumb with her needle. She was so just out of her mind that Rose would just walk in as if nothing had happened, as if they had just not had this you don't take the last rhubarb pie at the bakery and expect that the person who had reserved it is going to be okay with that. But no, that was what they did. And then this is what I had to deal with at Sewing Circle that day was and she hadn't cleaned it off her face. You could just see the little bits of rhubarb still. Oh my goodness. Mila, can you believe? Can you believe?
And Mila, do you want to describe who it is that Dimity is talking to? Yeah.
So who Dimity is sharing the story with, she is a burly brown woman. She's chesty, got big hips, big shoulders, muscly. She just kind of big all over. Got short black hair that's curly, big smile, and she's a jovial brewmaster, and absolutely looks like she spends a lot of time carrying barrels because she does. And she is happily listening to Dimny because one of the reasons that Rose may have stolen the rhubarb pie, which she just told Dimny about, was that Mila may have pissed her off a little, and she was flirting with a woman at the bar, but it turned out it wasn't actually Bree. It was her twin sister Rose, and I didn't know Bree had a twin sister, so I flirted with Rose thinking it was Bree, and may have pissed Rose off enough to do stuff that maybe she would normally do.
Is this something that you tell Dimity, or do you keep this to yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm sharing this with Dimity, and I think the story evolves to, you're not gonna believe what happened was after you spoke to her.
No way. What was that?
So that's the conversation.
So as we're moving along, maybe it's an east-west running path, okay, for the two of you. And we sort of zoom away and up and over this sort of central grassy area, maybe some old stones that have been moved out of the way to make the pathway a little smoother for wagons and carts. And not very far away, like within 200, 300 feet or so, coming down from this north-south running pathway, we see another pair of people that happen to be together, maybe talking a little bit. We see two men this time, however, and we see them weaving over some little shrubs here and there that maybe kind of side along the road, ducking under a branch of an overhanging tree. And I'm going to give it to you first, Stephen. Who's one of the people we see? What do they look like? What are you maybe talking about with your traveling companion here?
So we see Slag, who he has fairly pale skin, like he's always in the shade, but at the same time, they're like the occasional blister from burns, not sunburns, but like where he's just been too close to a furnace. And he has like this blacksmith's build where his right side is a little bit bigger than his left side from constantly using a hammer with his right hand. And he is wearing very plain, simple clothing. Looks like he's not spent much money on clothing in quite some time, judging by some of the burned threads and things like that. But slung across his back, he does have a rather high-quality shield. The wood itself on the shield is not anything to speak of, but there is an iron rim and an iron spiked boss in the center that seems to be very high quality. He is walking along, and I would say he was probably listening more than talking to his friend Spoonbill here. And whenever like Spoonbill is saying something, if Spoonbill is saying something, he's just like nodding along, supportively, and agreeing with everything that his friend says.
So Joe, tell us what Spoonbill looks like, and maybe some of the things Spoonbill has been saying on this walk that the two of you have been on.
Sure. So Spoonbill, he's kind of older. He's like, I'd say maybe like late 60s or like a bad late 50s. Like, it doesn't seem like he takes the best care of himself or hasn't been in a good spot too. He's got kind of long, unkempt, silvery hair, starting to thin a little bit. He's got a short beard on a pretty gaunt face. Doesn't look like he sleeps enough most of the time. Wearing a very like large, it looks like it was pretty well made at some point, but it's just kind of an old tattered cloak now. And he's got a very sturdy walking stick that he's always kind of propping himself on as he's hobbling around everywhere. What part of the world are we in right now, did you say?
We are in Ravensdale, which is not too far from
Ravensdale.
Sodmore, I think you said you were from, right? Yeah, it's not too far away.
Okay. I bet he would just be, anytime he hears like a bird or some sort of animal or a sound or something like that, he would be calling something out like that and just doing little things that remind him of a time that he was through this area. Anything that he remembers or anything that triggers memories for him. He just randomly brings stuff like that up all the time.
And yeah, you can certainly see on some of the branches here and there that are springing to life as this is spring, and so you can see there's growth now on the trees. You can definitely see birds all over. You've already heard them. Some of them are colorful. Occasionally you'll see like a blackbird, a raven, a very large raven, kind of up on a high branch or two, or even like on a distant scarecrow just sitting atop it in one of these barley fields. So there's more than a number of birds, especially blackbirds, to reminisce about or to peer at as you're walking past. Okay. And so, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, good. Yeah.
Okay. So from there, we'll kind of like move back a little bit. And so we see these two groups, one moving on a north-south direction, coming to this crossroads, one moving from an east-west direction, all in moments are about to come into contact with one another. But we also have one other figure to introduce, as we see up on a hill overlooking this crossroads area, perhaps atop like a little rocky embankment or with an overhanging tree. We see one final figure who has been sitting here watching these two groups come together and listening to the sounds of this young girl playing a stone's throw away or so over by this barley field beyond a fence. And so, Jeremy, at long last, tell us what we see. Who is watching all of this?
So we have the unhoused Gwylt. He is in fact up on a branch. Gwylt is just a diminutive 5'5", just super tiny. Sorry. Just lean, ropey muscle. His skin is basically just leather in of its own rights. He's got red, wavy hair that is turning gray, and it's just this giant mane that covers most of his body, along with a great bushy beard. And basically a loincloth. That's about it. Yeah, he's just crazy old mountain man sitting up in a branch.
Okay. Is there anyone or anything perhaps near you?
Yep.
Do you have any kind of...
Yeah, we see him grab like a nut from the tree, and he bites the shell off and kind of cracks it, and he throws the nut itself down to his, like, there's just this massive goat with huge horns on it. They'll toss the nut down to Biscuit, his goat, to start nibbling on, and then Gwylt will just start eating the shell of the nut itself.
You just hear poor Biscuit just down there. Actually, not even poor Biscuit, quite happy Biscuit to chew away at this. Okay. So I'm going to bring you all actually over to a little map for you guys to see a little bit more. It's not a combat map. It's a diplomacy map is what we call them. And so as we see, kind of from a bird's eye view, north-south running path. We see Slag and Spoonbill, and we see Dimity and Mila on this east-west path. And we see a little bit further away Gwylt on top of a tree. Beneath him, his goat Biscuit chewing away, and the sounds of laughter from this young girl named Willow that Dimity and Mila would know. When suddenly, there's like this blood-curdling scream. And then I would say Dimity and Mila, you both notice that the scream is most certainly coming from your young friend, this young village woman, young little girl by the name of Willow. You see her over by the scarecrow. You see her beginning to back away from this pile of barley. And then she holds her hand out with her lip kind of quivering a bit, and she almost like freezes. Something's moving in the barley, she points out. And then Dimity, Mila, you're the two that see this best. You see emerging from these like tall blades standing right next to her is some kind of shambling, water-drenched figure. Its face is kind of mummified. It's blackened. You can see it's rotting as well. As the sun comes down from above, you see it glint barely off of these rusty remains of some kind of like resplendent armor, now long rusted, long covered in grime. It has eyes in a way, or at least eye sockets. They're quite hollow. You're not sure exactly if there's anything within those sockets, but they lock on Willow. And they have what looks like some kind of corroded blade in their hand, and it's pointing in her direction, and it's dripping putrid water with every single step. So I'm going to toss this over to, let's see. I'm going to toss this over to Dimity. Dimity, you get the first reaction here. What would you like to do as you see this figure stumbling towards young Willow, who now seems to be petrified in fear? What would you like to do?
So what I would like to do is actually call out the fact that, so we kind of seen Dimity and Mila that were walking and talking, but what might have been missed is that a handful of feet behind, there actually was a woman who's a bit younger than Dimity, who is also walking along, who is Sasha, Dimity's apprentice. And so she was not in the conversation necessarily, but she was there. And so what Dimity is going to do is she is going to have her apprentice, Sasha, who can carry a lot, go grab Willow out of harm's way.
Okay, fantastic. So let's put together a roll here for this. This is our first roll. So you're trying to see if she can race over. She's a little behind you. So I'm going to say, since we didn't introduce her already, I am going to give her like a status, lagging behind 1, like she's a little further behind. So there'll be a -1 on this. So add that like as an ad hoc, on your description, and then activate whatever tags you think you would be using in this situation.
Yeah. So I am going to go, craftwork apprentice who can carry a lot. So that seems like, the two that would make sense for positives. Okay. Quick roll?
Yeah, I think this is going to be, we'll make this a quick roll for sure. This is just to see
and
if
so
she
then
can
there's
get there
going to be
and pick her up. Yeah.
The 1 negative then from...
Yeah, I think you can ad hoc do it in the system. Like you can just put a -1 to it as you pull up your roll.
Okay, see if that did like it was supposed to.
Oh dear.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
I don't think you're supposed to
tell them.
That was a fumble. I rolled 2 1s.
First roll of the game.
Yeah.
And Melissa rolls 2 1s. Okay. So I think this is what is going to happen. So she was, when I say she, I mean Willow, was standing there kind of petrified as this thing was brandishing the sword and shambling towards her. And you could tell that she was like frozen in fear. You turn back, you call on Sasha, but maybe Sasha's further behind than you realize. Like maybe you didn't realize she's so far behind, and she races up. She's doing exactly what we tell her to do. But maybe she trips along the way, right? So maybe Sasha kind of falls and trips along the way. So what I'm going to say is, like, in the process of doing so, let's deliver like a consequence here, because this makes a little bit more sense. We're going to take I'm going to have you maybe scratch Sasha at least for the rest of the scene, because she's fallen and she's taken, like, she bangs her head or twists her ankle, and so she's done for the rest of the scene. You might be able to get her back later. Okay. All right. But so you can see...
You see Dimity is just sort of like, Sasha, go, help Willow. And then
I've got it.
and she just kind of, puts her head in her hands a little bit. No. Mila, someone else. I've got to help.
Okay. And so you notice, Mila, so we'll turn the spotlight to you, but you notice then that Willow stays put, despite the fact that this figure has stepped right up to her and is now reaching back with this rusted, old, dripping blade and is about to strike down on this poor, frightened girl who is cowering. Mila, do you try to help?
I do. I am gonna try and run up and grab her. And I'm using strong as an ox trait, both tests of strength and holds and grapples, I think, work here.
I think so. I think that all sounds good. So go ahead and go ahead and activate all those. And since you're just grabbing her, okay.
Sorry, Amanda, how do I do this again?
You're doing it. You just keep clicking on each of the tags, and then at the top,
roll or detailed roll.
For this case, it's going to be a quick roll, because it's just about, do you pick her up?
Okay. And
in the process of picking her up, though, like, you are going to effectively kind of intersperse yourself between you and this creature.
Totally fine.
Okay. And so, I don't think anything's going against you in this case. So, yeah.
Doke. 10 plus 13. Awesome.
That's a fantastic roll. So you run up and you grab her. And I'll say, because you rolled so extraordinarily well, I was going to deliver like a consequence, like it's still going to strike you, because you rolled so particularly well. Not only do you grab her, but your force carries you just out of the swing of this creature as you feel the air and maybe a little sprinkle of some of that putrid water kind of gets on your face. As the sword comes down, you hear it smash into the ground right behind you as you kind of tackle Willow away. And so you and Willow are now relatively close to it, but you've avoided the slash. Meanwhile, as I reset the scene for a second, we turn over to Spoonbill and Slag, where you hear the sudden sounds of the scream. That is certain. And then you hear the sounds of Dimity and Mila, and maybe the two of you, the heroes that you are rushing as much as your legs allow. But right as you're about to turn onto like this crossroads, right as it looks as though like you can, you're going to be able to kind of catch up, as you see this strange figure and coming out of the barley field and attacking this young girl, you hear a loud snap of wood right near you, and you look over and you see, stumbling from this tangle of like barley and bramble, and pushing right through this old wooden fence that is sometimes used to separate the road from the actual field. That plank just snaps in half as you see a second one of these creatures, whatever they are, stumbling out towards you. And they're essentially right on the road, like right in front of you. And so let's give it to Slag. Slag, you're young. You're a little younger than Spoonbill. Maybe you're a little quicker to react. You hear the sounds, but you hear the sounds of the girl screaming, but you are close enough to notice that there is somebody else that's trying to help her. But then blocking your path now on the road, there is one of these creatures. Slag, what do you think you would do?
You said it looks like it's like bloated and dripping, right?
Yes, and you can see like there's like a small trail now on the path as it starts to shamble onto the trodden country path. You can see it dripping goo and ooze.
So I would like to call on my cedar shield. I unsling that, and it has a center spike on it that I would like to try and impale this thing with. And if I can, I'd also like to use my inventive trait, because I want to try and burst this like a bubble, to try and like thinking that like it looks like it's too full of water, maybe we can pop it and that's where the life is gonna like drain out of it.
Okay. Cedar shield, center spike. I think these both make perfect sense.
Inventive, no?
Not quite on board.
I don't know
with
if
the
it works, but
inventive
I'm trying things, though. That's what inventing is about. It's about testing. No?
It sounds like
Okay.
you're just impaling it. However,
Are you
there
maybe
is
a
going to
strong
be.
dude?
No, I'm not that strong. I'm not like legendary blacksmith here. I do aspire for that. I do want to still
Okay.
call on a weakness, and the cedar shield limits my agility. So
Okay.
we can call on that to see if we can get.
Just so you're aware, there will be something working against you as well. Hopefully, it's going to work in the system. I should have just marked it, so hopefully it just works. But we'll give it a go. So yeah, give it a roll.
All right.
As we see Slag pull the shield out, charging up, the shield leading the way, like a unicorn trying to impale somebody.
Not the best roll, anyways. It looks like whatever you gave me worked for me, not against me. Should have gone the other way.
Yeah, it should have gone the other way. Okay, so it still wouldn't have mattered. You'd still be at a 7, right? I think. Is that correct?
I think it would have put me at a 6 instead.
Put you at a 7.
It would have put me at a 7?
Oh, you're right. And you're right.
Nope.
-2.
Yeah, he's right.
-2.
It would have been a 6.
Yep.
Okay.
+2, -2, yeah. So
Okay.
that's a fail.
So, yeah. So you are going to. So as you kind of charge in and try to impale it, you contact it, but maybe something about this deadened flesh doesn't seem to react the way this kind of stabbing, impaling motion might if this were kind of a living creature. You even see coming out of its face as you're close, like there's it's like you're not sure if it's an old blade or some kind of rock coming right out of their skull. So it doesn't seem to work as much as you would want. I think instead what happens is there's a burst from where you puncture it, and some kind of that ooze that you saw dripping from it just kind of bursts onto you. We're going to give you, as your consequence here, poisoned 1. As this thing kind of gets on your equipment, gets on your skin, gets on your face.
I mean,
so
that
you
is
can give yourself
exactly what I was trying to do to it, to be fair.
Exactly. It just didn't work out the way that you hoped it would. Okay. So, resetting the scene, we see on one sort of side of this crossroads area, we see Mila, we see Dimity, we see Willow in the arms of Mila, dodging out of the way of this one creature who's trying to shamble towards you, but you can tell moves relatively slowly. And then on the other side, we see Slag now locked in this melee with this creature. As you pull the shield away, that burst of ooze comes onto you. Spoonbill, you see your traveling companion here, now covered in this goo. What would you like to do? Because you see, as you're like watching all this happen, you can kind of see that this creature is like, its face is moving. You can see its face is kind of contorting in a strange way. You're not sure if it's trying to speak, if it's trying to shout, trying to call for reinforcements. It's doing something as if it's about to release some kind of call. What would you like to do, Spoonbill?
I guess question: is it like unheard of that there's animated dead anywhere, or is that like really, really, really rare, or is that just?
Yeah, it's a great question. You can do a knowledge check if you would like. I would say, generally speaking, not much knowledge about amongst Dale's people about animated corpses or anything like that. That's okay. Yeah, this is definitely a new thing. But you could roll something if you would like to try to figure it out. You especially, because I know what some of your tags are. Like you might actually be the one amongst the group that might have some inkling.
Because that kind of where I was going was, I'm curious if it's just happens to be animated, or if there's like something that animated it that I would be able to see, like a tether or some sort of magic-y thing going on with it.
Put together a pool. Yeah.
Okay.
Put together a pool. See what you might know. Yeah.
I was gonna think the sight, discern magic, and maybe well traveled if I've seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
Then how do I add all those to the roll? Is it just
So
I
in
click on them?
your sheet, you open up your sheet, just click on each one of them once, and then at the top, in this case, normally I would do like a detailed roll for knowledge, but I have a limited amount of things I can give you, so let's just do it as a quick for now, and I'll just give you everything if you get it, and that kind of.
All right.
All
I will roll. It looks like that's good. Hey, 10 plus.
Right. Oh, that's phenomenal.
Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
so you know if it's there, you have heard stories. Perhaps maybe you haven't seen anything yourself, but you might have heard stories. But it makes perfect sense that someone with this sight is able to discern. As you look at this creature, it's some kind of, you can see almost like hovering or hanging over top of it, this like malignant presence of some kind. It's some kind of foul odor or cloud, and it's hanging over top of what you would know is this is a creature of twilight. This is some kind of like the storybook kind of monster, right? The type of the thing you tell at fire, at a campfire, telling ghost stories and things like that. But you can definitely tell there is something hovering over top of it that, from what you can tell from Slag's actions, he might not see at all, and it's probably your sight kicking in. And it would tell you that as its face is contorting, it's going to be doing something right now, and you would know to avert your eyes, and you could even shout that out as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Like, look away. And
Okay.
to call that out. And I'll start trying to move up too, just to be closer.
So you kind of avert your eyes and you start moving towards it. Slag, do you think you would listen to what Spoonbill says?
Oh, absolutely. He would only have my best interests at heart.
Okay, so as you do that, you turn your head just down a little bit, and it kind of fires out both more of that kind of cloudy, miasmic kind of ooze, and then it's just this horrible gargling, drowning sound that is just absolutely terrifying. But because you did such a great job, Spoonbill, and you're able to call that out really quickly, the two of you aren't going to have to roll. You just don't take any effect there. So no consequences because of how good that roll was. Meanwhile, resetting the scene from atop the hill and atop the tree, we see Gwylt, we see, Biscuit, looking down, and you have this good view. You're further away, but you can see that there are two of these creatures now that are assaulting various passersby at this crossroads. Gwylt, as you notice, one of them is raising the sword and closing in on this kind of thick-armed, brown-skinned woman who is cradling that young girl in her arms, and you see that this man with a shield is now coated in some kind of ooze. Does Gwylt want to do anything here, or you just want to take this one off?
I don't want to label myself a hero. I see a brave woman carrying a child away, and I see a jackass covered in poison. I'm not running towards the bastard covered in poison. That's stupid. And he's a big boy. He can take care of himself. Screw that nonsense. I'm going towards the other frackin' one. Oh, God bless it. So, I will use my good reflexes to just kind of hop off the branch I'm on and land on top of my Milkrest riding goat, who will then take a running leap at the one that's chasing after the girl and use his headbutt. Which sounds fantastic. Great. That's a lot of tags, but the goat Biscuit is headstrong because there's all these nuts that I've dropped down there, and he's nibbling away on them. And I'm trying to spur him into action, but he really wants to get one more bite of those. So his response to this isn't quite as quick as I would like it.
Okay. I'm going to kind of give you the same kind of tag I gave Sasha, as you're a little further behind. So I'm going to give you that. So it's a -1.
Okay.
And you're trying to headbutt this thing, right?
Yeah. Basically,
Alright, so then-
hop down on the goat, get the goat to run towards it, do a running leap, and headbutt it.
Okay, 1 second. Let me see if I could get this right this time. There is something working against it, but there's
Okay.
also something kind of working in your favor. So actually, they're gonna wash out. They're gonna
Okay.
wash.
So I
So
click
so
on my
I'm just gonna
tags.
give you the lag behind. Yeah, you got that lag behind one. Is the
Okay.
only one I would. I'll add it to you. I think I
Okay,
can do
so
it.
basically, click on my tanks first, and then click one of the roll options.
Yeah, you can do this. Make this a detailed roll. Do a detailed one for this. As we'll track your
Alright,
power
let's-
and potentially buy some effects.
All right. Let's see how it goes.
Right, not bad. Looks pretty good so far.
Okay.
Okay. That's an 11. That's a fantastic roll.
Nice.
Even with some of the negatives, that lagging behind thing, even with the headstrong nature of Biscuit, you leap down. Biscuit leaps off, and you come racing across to the other side of this country road, going right past Dimity, and you smash into this creature. You have 4 power that
Okay.
you can actually spend here. Is that right? Let's double check. 1, 2,
think
3,
so.
4.
Ooh.
No, you should have.
Or maybe
I
it
didn't
would
count
be-
the lag behind properly.
So maybe it should be 3.
I think it's 3. Yeah, you do have
Okay.
3. You still would have had a 10. So even with the mics,
Yeah.
you're still at a 10.
Still.
So you have 3 power. So just to go over a couple things you could do, whenever you are doing detailed rolls and you have the power, you can spend 2 power to add a tag or scratch a tag. So you could hypothetically, you could knock it prone, or you could sort of knock the, you can disarm it, and so you send the sword flying. You can add a status, and so for each power that you spend, remember status is the numerical one where you can add tiers, so you could spend 3 power to give it a level 3 tier, you also could spend power to try to discover something if it makes sense with the action that you just took. And remember too that when you're facing challenges, whether they're monsters or social conflict or whatever, often there is a limit, which is the equivalent of a clock, but not quite the same. And if you can achieve that limit, you overcome the challenge, essentially.
Okay.
So with all that in mind, how would you like to spend your power?
I think the goal here is primarily, would it be 2 power that would be good to make it prone?
Okay, you can do that.
Because he's maybe
Knock it on
catching
its
it
ass.
kind of at an off angle, maybe from behind, and
Okay.
it knocks its face down into the dirt. Because the main thing is, let the little girl get out of here, knock this thing on its face, and then put a point of damage into it. It got hurt a little bit, but mostly it's about knocking it down so it can't
Okay.
chase after them.
All right, so you've knocked it on its ass. So you gave it you gave it prone, and then you also just want to do a little damage to it, basically,
Yeah.
with the horns. Is that the idea? Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna do that over here. All right. So you've done some harm to it. Okay. Resetting the scene. So Mila, you hear the cries of Willow in your arms. You can feel her shivering. Then you hear suddenly, "Meh," and you look over your shoulder and you can see this goat flying out of nowhere with some old crotchety man on top of it, just knocking this creature right on its ass. And you can tell it's struggling and it's trying to get up, but you can tell it is not easy for it to get up. It's not as it's trying to push itself up, its arm kind of fractures here and there. So I'm going to throw this at Mila now. You have the girl in your hands. Do you just continue to flee with her and get her to safety, or do you think you want to do something else to help this crazy old man?
I think there's 2 things I'd like to. You let me know if I can. First is I'd like to back up and basically shove the kid at Dimity and be just take her and go. And then I want to cheer on, which is the tag I have from my Joel, the crazy old man.
Okay. We can just say all that happens as long as you're not looking to create an effect. I think all of that can totally happen.
That's awesome.
So you can race back and you can just hand the girl over to Dimity. So Dimity, you take her, and then you hear like Gwylt. You hear the sudden sounds of this woman shouting. What is it? Mila shouts to cheer him on.
Hit him again! Hit him again!
And Gwylt, as you like finish like your charge and maybe turn around like you're tilting lances, like you're turning your horse around to see, like, or turning your goat around, you see the creature is almost back up. Like,
yeah, you're so freaking smart. I was just gonna leave now.
Okay. So Gwylt, you see this creature literally on the verge of getting back up right now. And so it's going to lose. So what I'm trying to signal is that like it's going to lose its prone condition unless you do something right now. What is it you would like to do? It's to you, Gwylt.
Oh, this is to me? Okay.
Yeah. There's no order. It's just making sense within the story, and we'll go over to Slag and Spoonbill in a sec.
Let me see what I would like to do to it while it's on the ground. I don't think I can justify using the running leap anymore, but I think I probably will still have Biscuit continue to stomp on it while it's on the ground and headbutt it. And then maybe I will use my reflexes to kind of hop off, and while the goat is stomping on it and headbutting it, I'll jump off as well. And like, if it has hair, or if it looks like it does, just use that to kind of be slamming it into the ground with my reflexes.
Okay. Absolutely. The prone is going to help you in this case. There'll be one thing it has that had been working against you, so they're gonna wash, and so just roll it straight from your sheet.
Okay, I'll get those things in there. I will say I'm going to because I'm gonna really lean into using my drawbacks this game. I think that'd be fun. I think he kind of got called out by this young lady, and he's an old man that really wants to show he can still handle himself. Because I actually have a drawback called "I can handle this."
Hell yeah!
Okay, I love it. Fantastic. Don't forget that when you tap into a weakness on a roll, you get to mark the check at the bottom for improve for that tech.
Okay.
Or excuse me, for that theme.
So click. Oh wait, not the reaction. Okay. Click sorry.
And this will be a detailed again. Detailed,
and then does your -2 thing already factor in, or do I need to do a thing?
I have one thing. The prone's going to be helping you. But then there was a thing that would have been hurting you. And since those things are going to wash on my end, just roll it straight.
Just roll it.
What you've got.
Okay.
It all works out. Okay. Okay. Still pretty good. Like this is a 7 to a 9. So you got an 8. You have 2 power to spend. So this is going to be success, but also some consequences. So let's go ahead. Let's spend your power. You got 2 power to spend. How do you want to spend it?
Nice.
I think at this point, because he is like showing off a little bit, he's just damaging it.
Okay. So you're just going to continue to smash and smash
or maybe,
and smash.
Or I could do like a 1-point condition and a 1 point of damage, and the 1 point of damage would move it up to 2, right?
A condition, like it'd be a status, status you can spend for 1 point. Yeah.
What I mean to say is, like, if I did 1 point of damage, because the 1 point is already filled, it would bump up to a 2. So it makes more sense to do a 1 point affliction and a 1 point damage, right?
Okay. Yeah, sure. What do you think you want to give it for an affliction? Like, what kind of status do you want to give it?
Harassed, because it's getting stomped on by a goat and an old man slamming on it. It's just it's being tag teamed.
All right. Let's do that. So I'm going to put harassed on it, but I'm also going to do a little damage. Definitely, you can feel the head kind of coming apart. However, there was a consequence, and considering what you're doing, violently smashing its head into the ground, the head is starting to break apart, and you can feel, much like what was happening with Slag, this goo is almost exploding from it, and then it's going to get on your arm. So give yourself a poisoned one condition as well, as this ooze begins to cover and coat you in the process of what you're doing. But I will say the prone, it stays prone, because you jumped on top of it, so it's still going to be prone, it's still going to be harassed, and you are going to town on this thing. Meanwhile, other side of the crossroads. Slag, Spoonbill, slightly behind. Both of you have just averted your eyes as this scream that came also with almost like a projectile kind of ooze vomit coming out. But both of you are able to avert your eyes. slag, you're coated in this goo. You see this creature as you turn your face, you turn your eyes back towards it. You can see now that it has this sword, and it's like no fooling anymore. It's just lunging at you, like it's trying to impale you right through your core. How do you react?
Billy, what in Twilight Spells is this thing? And I just pull my shield, and I'm trying to, it's reinforced against shattering. So I want to just try and take the blow, like, head on the shield, just straight towards it.
Okay. So let me walk you through something really fast, because I know that you're new, Steven. So right now I'm saying it's going to attack you. Then you're going to do a roll, and depending on how you roll and depending on what your action is, that consequence might be delivered. It might actually attack you. It's also possible it
so
won't
I can
attack
still.
you. Yeah, and then often in situations like an attack, I might give you a reaction roll to potentially mitigate the attack as well. So you don't have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to say you're mitigating right now. You can be offensive here. The one thing to think about, though, when you pick your tags is if you do roll poorly, for instance, and you roll a consequence is going to be delivered, and I am going to stab you with the sword, I can give you a mitigation roll. However, a reaction. You can't use the tags that you activated for your offensive action. So sometimes it's good to keep a tag or two in reserve. So keep that in mind as you kind of play out what it is you want to happen right now.
Jeff, I'm not the type of person to keep stuff in reserve. So,
Only best defense is good offense. You ain't first or last.
I appreciate the sound tactical advice, and I will promptly ignore it. So I would like to use my cedar shield. And I would like to call on a drawback that I have visible scars, like I was talking about blisters and stuff like that, and that could make the poison seep in more. Basically, I'm more susceptible to it. I would also like to draw on my punishment enduring. That I am willing to accept that poison as I continue to stay on the offense. Willing to continue to get hurt by this poison and, kind of put myself in the, Would I also be able to argue persistent? Because while the last roll did not go well for me, I thought I succeeded, and I want to keep doing the same thing, where I want to just keep punching holes in this. What I did worked, because obviously it's leaking all over me, so I need to do it again.
I think that makes sense.
And then I'd be calling on my center spike again to puncture it. So that would be 4. Okay. Is that too many?
No, I think that's fine. You do have your visible scars are working against you. That's your weakness. And then also there's going to be one of their tags is working against you as well. I marked it on my end. Hopefully it's going to work appropriately. So we'll see.
All right.
But give it a roll. I might be doing this backwards.
It is working against me now.
Perfect.
I can see it. So we're good. Give me a better roll. Oh, there we go. There we go. That is a 13.
Okay. You have a net of what looks like, it says 2 power. However,
yes.
That's correct, I think. Yeah, so you have 2 power to spend. So similar to what we said with Jeremy, you can spend your power to to buy a tag. You can spend your power to add statuses. Each tier of a status you give it is essentially 1 power, and then prone as a tag, that's a little bit more permanent, right?
I'd like to give it a status and increase the tier as well with both power if I can do that. So status.
Absolutely. 2. So you're giving something 2. Okay. So
and I'd like to call it leaking.
Okay.
I mean, I'm trying to pop it as best I can, and it may not be the key to killing it, but we're gonna keep trying.
It was already leaking. How about punctured? Does puncture sound good?
Seeping, something.
I also think it was seeping too. I think it was. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be active about this. All right.
Okay. All right. That was such a great job that when you start smashing into it with the shield, it destabilizes its stance, and like the swing that of the sword that it tries to take kind of clinks off your shield, and it kind of shambles back for a second, but then you see that despite the fact that it is now seeping all sorts of goo from the various puncture wounds that you have given it, this would have killed any living thing, any living human, any living person, any living creature would have probably died from what you've done to it. But it nonetheless is going to just lunge forward once more. Slag, your arm is kind of numbing a little bit. You feel like it's starting to bother you. Maybe your shield's coming a little bit slower. But Spoonbill, you see this happening. What do you do to maybe intersperse or help out your friend Slag? 'Cause it looks like he's about to get a second swing.
Yeah, I want to try and sweep its leg with my walking stick and just try and take it out, crack it in the knees, maybe keep it from being able to move as much.
Okay.
So I'll run up. Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna smack it with my trusty walking stick tag.
Okay. And I'm gonna say because it moves relatively slow, it has a shambling tag that I'm going to say is actually probably going to work in your favor because it's probably a little bit easier to knock it down because it's slow.
Great.
So I took care of it.
So are these tags that are popping up, are they flipped?
On my end, they're flipped. When I do it, I have to because you have to, on the minus plus, I have to switch it. So we'll do the math at the end to make sure it works out. The way I'm doing it is the same way I did it with Steven, and it worked out fine. So let's see if it works. Okay. Trying out to do Foundry system. We used a different Foundry system when we were playing Songs of Autumn, and so we're trying the new one, which is very good. Okay. Just got to get used to it.
All right. I'll smack it.
Oh, that's a great roll. You guys are rolling great, except for Melissa. Gotta get back to her.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Power 2. I'm just cracking it with my stick.
All right, why don't you describe how you finish this thing off? Because with that 2 power and what you've described it as, I think if you want, you can spend that 2 power to finish this after what Slag started. So why don't you describe what it looks like for us?
I love the idea of I just sweep its legs and it buckles and its knees snap backwards and it just falls and impales its head on his spike shield and it dies from that. and it just drips off. It kind of hangs for a second on the spike shield maybe, and then as you kind of rip it off, it falls back down to the ground around you. Meanwhile, we go back over to the other side. We see Dimity. You're holding in your arms Willow now. You look back, you see Sasha is getting up, and definitely she's limping. It looks like she hurt her leg quite badly, and then Mila is next to you, kind of cheering on this old man who just leapt out of nowhere, and him and his goat attacked this thing. You hear the goat just and just kind of continuing to rain its hooves down on, while the old man is smashing this figure's head into the ground. But that's causing this ooze to continue to kind of burst on him here and there. And you realize that he's getting coated in it. More and more of this thing is starting to get on top of him that he might not even realize about. Dimity, what do you think you're doing as you have young Willow in your arms right now and you see this craziness unfolding?
I would say that Dimity is kind of focused on Willow, who is kind of freaking out right now. And so I'm thinking about using Rumor Monger and Dispel Unwanted Rumors. That she is basically going to kind of distract Willow a little bit from kind of what's going on. And so I imagine she's probably getting a bit freaked out, especially if she's, kind of doing the thing where Dimity is trying to turn around so Willow can't see, and then Willow is turning her head, and then Dimity's turning the other way, and then Willow's turning her head the other way, and she's trying to get her to not see all of the things that are happening behind. So my main goal right now is actually kind of distraction of Willow to try to keep her from completely losing her mind at the horrible things that are happening. Rumor Monger and Dispel Unwanted Rumors in the sense of trying to keep her distracted so she can't actually see.
Talk about other things that this is
Yeah.
nothing, okay, change her. Okay, so she had Petrified 2, but I'm going to say because of what Mila did, like bringing her clearly away from that, I'm going to downgrade that to Petrified 1. So like we'll say then she's still very, very scared, but like she's clearly removed from this creature. So that's working against you, but it's not as bad as if Mila hadn't brought her over to you.
All right, let's see if I roll better this time. Hey, 7.
Amazing.
Okay, that's a success. And so we'll say with that 1 power, you can bring down that last bit of Petrified, and we can remove that from Willow. She's, what is that thing? What is that? And then you start coming up with some kind of rumor, but I'm going to say one of the rumors, this is your consequence. This is more of a narrative consequence. One of your rumors doesn't, like, as you say it, it lands on her and you see a weird glint in her eye. What do you think the rumor is that suddenly catches her attention and you realize she's probably going to share that with the wrong person and that might get you in trouble down the line? What do you think it is you said, Dimity?
I'm going to say, goodness. So I think what she's trying to say is that there are like scarecrows that get put out sometimes, and when the weather is wrong, the scarecrows can, like gust of wind picks them up and it seems like they're attacking something, but she explains like why the scarecrows are there, and it is like to scare away certain kinds of like creatures or something. So like there's kind of a reason why these, kind of effigies or scarecrows or whatever are put out, so she's trying to just pass it off as like, it was a rainstorm and a gust of wind. So, when, a gust of wind gets this thing that's been water soaked and, the rains that we've been having lately. And, that's just what's happening here. But, the backstory behind why we put them out is because there's these, creatures that, we have to keep at bay around the village.
Okay, got it. All right, so she is going to take that way too literally, and like you hear her almost like mutter under the breath, like creatures like these. There's more of them, but we cut from there as we look over towards where Gwylt was smashing the head down. Now he's becoming like more and more of this goo is now covering this old man. And Mila, you watch as even though like the creature is like getting destroyed by this thing, the sheer ooze coming out is starting to drench this old man, and you can see it starting to discolor his skin. And maybe he doesn't realize it yet. Maybe he hasn't noticed it yet, but all of the harm he's doing to this creature, he's also now opening himself up, making himself susceptible to whatever this horrific miasma is that's coating him. So, but Mia, you can see it. You don't have Willow in your arms anymore. You have a clear view at this old man. What do you think you do now, Mila? Do you try to help this old man at all?
Yeah, she's gonna go and try and sort of physically interpose herself between this thing and be like, it's fine, she's safe, you stop, you need to stop, I don't know what it's doing, but it's doing
Don't
something.
stop until it's done.
No,
Burst
it's
this
done.
fucking thing into pieces.
And,
Stop its facing. You're a big old girl. Kill it.
I'm going to.
Shut the front door and get into action.
And I'm going to try and grab him. Shove
Okay,
him
absolutely.
away.
You're a big old girl. You're gonna try to kill it. He's gonna remember that line. Okay, put together a pool. Absolutely. Actually, you know what? He's prone. He's harassed. He has been utterly destroyed by Gwylt. Mia, and you have plenty of tags. Go ahead and describe what happens as opposed to actually rolling. I think that this guy is so dead to rights that it's not hard for you to finish this off. So why don't you flavor it for us?
I'm gonna, Jeremy, if you're okay with this, Mila's gonna grab the rock from Gwylt so that he knows that she's using the tool he's using and continuing to smash its head. basically doing exactly what he was doing. So he backs the fuck off. Which is also, I think, one of my relationships.
Someone's gonna get a rock in the head. You're gonna get a rock in the head.
And so the two of you, finish the last of this one off. And it'll go inert with the last of the smashing, the rock, the face down into the dirt, and the body no longer seems animated. And in both cases, both of these creatures, we see they kind of start to like almost to deflate in some ways, and some of the like whatever had been soggy and keeping them kind of keeping them so sort of moist and drenched starts to spill out into a dark, disgusting pool around you. But as you both groups kind of step up and maybe poke at it and look at it once or twice, it does neither of these things seem to be moving once more. And we'll go ahead and say like that challenge has been overcome. Bodies are still laying there, various rusted weapons and shields and things like that on the ground. Sasha will kind of limp up eventually. Sorry, Miss Dimity. Oh, there was a big hole in the ground. It was a rabbit hole. My foot fell down in it, and I think I might have broken it. Oh, I think it's broken. What on earth happened over here?
I don't think it's broken, but attention to detail. We've talked about this, that you're big and strong and you can carry a lot and clean up well, but it's attention to detail. Remember.
Right, I understand. Sorry, it won't happen again, Miss Dimity.
Well, hopefully none of this will happen again. Mike, gracious.
And yeah, so as you kind of stand up, Gwylt and Slag, as you kind of step away, you definitely feel something got into you, and you feel a little sickened. You feel a little off. It's hard to describe. There's like a foulness that's kind of coursing through you, but otherwise, no worse for wear. You guys all do?
Mila has a stash flask as she's seeing the harangued look in Slag's and Gwylt's face is just kind of toss it around, be like, just help you just steady yourself.
I'll take a swig of that if you're willing.
And I'm gonna pass it around.
He takes the flask, but first, like a cat that cleans itself, Gwylt will start licking this weird stuff off of himself, because he's a curse eater, and he can digest anything. And he'll swig the alcohol to help null the taste, and he's just like...
Mila just watches him fascinated.
And they just start saying these ancient curse words, trying to give form to whatever that terrible magic was to, like, get it out.
I mean,
okay, you want to try to purge your...
Yeah.
Want to do a roll? Let's do a roll. Yeah, see if you can purge this thing from yourself. Put together a pool.
I'm kicking the tires. I'm trying things out.
Let's give it a go.
So...
Eating the tires.
Digest anything. I've got pretty good... I've got rugged tenacity, but I'm also prone to ancient curses for my weakness.
Yeah.
And then
the poison we'll say will work against you itself. So we'll say the poison itself. So count that.
Okay. So should I do a quick roll or?
It's only a poison one. So yeah, it's really just about whether you succeed or fail in this case. Normally we would do a detail to buy it down, but it's not that much.
It's not letting me click poison. But I'll. We'll know to do a -1 on this.
I can give you. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
It's fine. No, we're good.
Ooh.
Okay, you're plenty good. Yeah, that's a 10. So yeah, you're good. So yeah, what does it look like as you kind of like purge it out of your system?
Fucking blessed troll scroll fucking shit fast troll. Right, and he starts saying, he's cursing And it starts off with regular curse words, and then it starts switching into like really legitimate ancient curse words from like a whole time long gone. And as he's licking this stuff and saying these things, you see like the black tendrils of his vein, like what the poison that would be in him, starts gathering up into his throat. And as he says the curse words, these ancient curse words, it actually turns into a bile that he can then just like and just hawk out like a hairball under the ground in front of him.
You just see it fall down onto the ground. Unlike the rest of it, which is like wet and filthy, like yours comes out as like you've dried it out, and it's now almost like a piece of dried bark or like dried like swamp reeds or something that just tangled up and falls to the ground and eventually falls apart in the wind. And you can remove the poison status.
Hey, you grabbing that little girl. You're a a lot of spirit in you.
Thank you. And she takes the floss back and is convinced the alcohol is probably what did that. And will say to Slag, I was gonna give this to you to fortify yourself, but I mean, if it does that, then...
No, I appreciate it. You have any idea what that filth tastes like when you spit it out? You don't know.
So it's not this?
I don't think you had to eat it. So I wasn't going to.
I feel like I just need a bath.
It's like, dude, you take your hat off and start wiping it off?
Absolutely.
Is that what you do?
I'm wiping everything off. Especially my shield to make sure it does not rust.
Okay.
I want to poke around and see, like, does anything stand out about these bodies? I know we've kind of beaten them up a bit, but, like, do they look like they were, like, buried people that came up? Like, were they, like, is there anything I can kind of gather about the state that they're in, what they're wearing?
They definitely look like... So I would say there's probably two things that, as you start to look at them a little bit more closely, with them not trying to attack you, they've been dripping, but they also look waterlogged. That they've been long, like soaked in some kind of body of water, right? Like they've not been buried, but they've been submerged in some filthy water. And then the second thing you do notice is that the gear that they're wearing, like you can tell, each of them has like a breastplate. They're tarnished a bit here and there, but you do notice that they have like there's certain like symbols and things on them that that looks very striking. And Gwylt, I think, would probably be the one most likely to sort of conjure a name. As you look at these things, the old kingdom of Gwylt, right? That's kind of what these look like from stories that you've heard and told, and maybe even
have
read.
A scuffed old
Gwylt
tome that might have maybe an image or two here and there.
And as you pull it out and you kind of flip through this old, terrible tome that looks centuries old, barely kept together by whatever constant rebinding, you flip through pages of text, sometimes pages of sketches. And yeah, maybe at one point you turn to an image of a battle. And you can see there's people dressed in similar garb. Maybe not perfect. It's hard to tell. You're just looking at sketches, obviously, but it definitely bears a resemblance. And I would say all of you, to a degree, would know that, like, the old kingdom of Gwylt, maybe there's a story or two or a fairy tale, that kind of thing. You might know a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's an ancient civilization that predates the Dales by at least a few hundred years, if not more. But ruins of that ancient civilization still remain all around the Dales and outside of it.
Ancient bullshit. Bad news.
You hear the little girl next to you, Dimity, say, "Ancient bullshit? What does he mean, ancient bullshit?"
No. Earmuffs.
Yemos.
This is, and she'll kind of clap her hands over the ears. But Dimity has find out the truth and attention to detail, so I think she would kind of also be, kind of joining in the conversation about kind of how long ago they would have been, and how this would make no sense that they would be somehow, the situation we just found ourselves in. What could this possibly mean, that this was, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and why would they be out and about?
Do I see any traces of that, like, presence that was on them? Does it look like that's fading away, or that's moved on?
Once these were defeated, that seemed to dissipate. Whatever presence, whatever strange kind of old ways, magical kind of presence that seemed to be pushing these things, ambulating them, once you all defeated them, seems to fade away.
Okay. And it just kind of into nothing. Didn't give it's not like a soul that just went off in some direction.
No, it just kind of seems to sort of dissipate and fade. Okay. I would say you do see a little bit of something similar, some kind of strange aura, perhaps, around this old man. You definitely see that. And you can see once he started licking this and forcing it out, like there was like this pulsing that happened. So there's definitely, it seems to be around him. And to a lesser degree, far fainter, around the other three as well.
Okay. Do I see it around Willow?
No, she seems fine. No. She's currently got two hands covering her ears. They're not her hands. And she's going through a series of ancient curse words that Gwylt has been saying. And she keeps saying that over and over again. So is there anything else you guys would like to do, or like also like what do you think right now? Like what do you think you would want to do sort of in reaction to this? Because Willow is probably next to you, Dimity, saying, we've got to let Ravenhome know. What if more came out and they came to you? Said that the scarecrows are supposed to keep them away, but it's not keeping them away. What if more of them get to Mom and Dad back at Ravenhome?
So Spoonbill, you say that there was something, so these didn't come back to life. There was something that was moving them.
Yeah, they had some sort of fog about them, and it's not here anymore. I don't know if it's good to leave these here either, in case other things want to come by and, I don't know, eat them or whatever. It's probably not good to, kind of a bit of a biohazard or something. It looks.
So bury them, but Willow is right. We must tell everyone to beware and be careful.
I agree. I mean, there's two here. There might be more.
So, and Dimity would recommend that when Sasha fell, she sort of like made a bit of an indentation, and so let's take that and kind of keep digging down and kind of bury what's left of these in that depression that Sasha made when she fell.
Sure. Yeah. You can take the time if you want. Like you could probably find some tools in your own equipment, or maybe something nearby to just get it off the path and into like a part of the field. Maybe not where like there's live barley being grown, but maybe into like a dead section of the field. And it'll take a little time, but with all of you working together, I think you can do it relatively quickly. The whole time though, like Willow is very impatient. She's like, I can go back now. Just let me go. I can go.
No, after what we just saw, you must come with us. We must travel all together.
It's important you remember this, though. The world is going to send dark and horrible things at you, and you're going to reach up and grab it by the curlies. Yes, you are. Because that world's going to happen. It doesn't matter how many people try to naysay you or coddle you. No. When the darkness comes from you, you grab it by the curlies and you pull it down. And you just bite in and you grin and bear it and you push through anyways. And I actually have a reason for this. I'm going to try and do a thing to try to help her. Because one of the things I do is I find insecurities, but I also dispense bitter wisdom. So I just want to let her know, like, bad shit's going to happen to you, little girl, but you can push through anyways. And I'm going to teach her a couple of ancient curse words as I give her this foul-mouthed wisdom. And I want her to have herself prepared. Hey, if she's going to face weird revenants that are going to try and kill her, I want her to be ready and just like have the confidence to deal with it.
Okay, I'm going to say that this is going to fail because she is a young child.
Yeah, no,
and
fair.
She is terribly scarred now. So I'm going to give her a scarred status. And she
So you're saying I won the fight
terrified.
with the first NPC that was presented? Thank you! Thank you! I did it!
The first round. Many years from now, maybe she'll come back.
God damn it.
Oh, goodness.
But yes, I'm going to give her a scarred too. And she is utterly terrified of Gwylt at this point and thinks she's going to die. Okay. Is there anything more? Or are we moving on to Ravenhome? Is there anything else anybody wanted to do?
We've got to tell people. We've got to tell people.
I think Mila is just like, the thing she has in her backpack is a thing of dried fruits. She's gonna spend as much time as possible with Gwylt's goat and just like bribe it into liking her.
Okay. So the whole so we see the group of you walking eastwardly a bit, and like Mila, you're like lingering back with Biscuit occasionally, feeding Biscuit some of your figs,
and just like cooing at it, and generally not caring about the child.
And
My
you can see that Willow is very frightened now of Gwylt and is frequently like hiding next to Dimity or like kind of keeping Dimity between herself and this old man. And like Slag, Spoonbill, you guys, like if you're keeping your eyes peeled maybe and looking along the road or looking on some of these other barley fields and these orchards that you pass along the way, and you pass several of them as the walk to Ravenhome is a couple hours, maybe about 2 hours. But you don't find that there's any other strange signs of these types of creatures. Like at no point as you're looking this way or that. Spoonbill, you never see any more of that kind of strange like aura floating around. Slag, a few times maybe you get a little startled perhaps as a sudden like group of crows just erupt out of a nearby field and circle around overhead before like disappearing off to the side. A couple more times, maybe you see a blackbird on a tree, like calling out at you, but you realize that that's a raven and it's kind of watching you as you go, like unafraid. And a couple times that happens here and there throughout. But eventually you all, as you're continuing on, you kind of feel the wind sort of racing back across the roads. But you do see, as the sun is now much higher in the sky, it's like afternoon. It's a fairly dour feeling though. You finally catch sight of the shingled roof houses of a lot of these homes in Ravenhome. Dimity, Mila, this is where you're from. This is where you live. Spoonbill, Slag, Gwylt, it's possible that you all have visited here before. It's not that this is a strange place to you. But there's this scent of wood fires. It's kind of dancing in the air. You're passing by like groups of people. You can definitely hear the sounds of conversations. Some of them seem fairly joyful, which feels almost kind of conflicting to what just occurred. And you can hear like the sounds of just like laughter amongst the crowds. But you don't get the sense that anything untoward happened here. You pass by some of these groups and you can see like warm smiles are being shown back in your direction. Maybe less so towards Gwylt, as maybe a point of recognition or two happens. There's some hearty greetings that come out in your way. But there's got to be something maybe about your demeanor or your condition, maybe color drained from your faces, or maybe it's just like Mila, who's just like, monsters, as like she passes by everybody, because their warmth kind of starts to falter a little bit. And you can see that faces start to look concerned and confused in some way. So before we get too far into this next scene, Dimity, Mila, do you think you live in the village proper? Do you think you live in Ravenhome proper, or do you think you live outside of it? Dimity, we'll start with you. Like, do you think you have a home somewhere in here?
Yes, I would say that she has it's sort of a combo home / store that she has. So the store is called A Good Yarn, and she lives, kind of in the back half is where she lives. And this is, I would say, a family store. So one of her tags is that she inherited a golden needle. So this has been kind of a family business.
So as we're like walking through the various paths, the streets, the squares of Ravenhome, we pass by, we see a golden yarn, a good yarn. We see a good yarn, like up on some kind of wooden plaque, whipping around in the breeze a bit here and there. Mila, what about you? Do you think you live in the town? Do you think there's a place you stay here?
She lives in the town with her family above the tavern they own. The tavern is called the Blind Ox, and she doesn't live in the main house above the tavern with her mother and father and younger brother. She lives in an adjacent facility that's sort of a house / workshop for her to try out new brewing recipes and that kind of thing. So she lives at home, but like sort of independently, but very much in town.
Fantastic. And so maybe we pass by like the tavern as well. We look over, we can see the blind ox. Maybe we see like the head of an ox, and then it's got like a blindfold around it, and it's kind of tied off to the side, some like etched in the wood a bit. We hear the sounds as like the door opens of joviality, of singing and laughter from inside. And then Gwylt, when do you think the last time you came to this town was? Do you think it was recently? Do you think you walked these streets recently? You're a bit of an outcast, but every now and then maybe you come into a town. Do you think you've been here recently?
It's maybe, I mean, I can eat almost anything. I can find water. It's been a couple of years at least. Probably maybe at some point Biscuit sprained an ankle and I needed some supplies. I'd hate coming here, but I wasn't going to leave Biscuit hanging.
And you definitely feel eyes on you as you walk through town, and you can see that the people are staring at you. They kind of recognize you for what you are. It does, however, seem like Biscuit's having a perfectly fine time as this is like moving through, meh, meh, and like little kids are kind of running up to, like kind of tapping on the sides of Biscuit here and there. But the whole time, like you can see, like once the kids run up, their parents call them back as they see who the goat is like walking alongside, and each of them kind of quickly like shuffles away from you. Others maybe just have like downcast eyes, like they look at you and then they look away. Maybe a person you've given service to at some point in the past. So the whole while though, Willow has been like calling out to different groups, like monsters. There was monsters out by the crossroads. There was monsters. He ate the blood. That cruel man back there ate the blood. But she saved me, and she saved me. And then these two, pointing at like Slag and Spoonbill, they killed another, and then we buried him. And at first people are like, oh, it's Willow. This is what she does. But then it does seem like people are starting to take her a little bit more seriously, and like conversations are starting to unfold. Rumors are starting to swirl. and you see a man kind of step out, like as you find yourselves kind of like in town square, so to speak. And like you can see different kind of panic groups are starting to form. They're like Alderman, they said something about monsters on the roads, monsters out in the body. And you see this like kind of heavy set man, little big around the belly, but dressed decently nicely. You would know him, Dimity and Milla, as Alderman Beaks. He's like, okay, no, there's no reason for us to get so excited here. If for those of you who are concerned, head to the folk hearth. You strangers, you sir. And he looks at Gwylt and then like recoils, and then he changes his mind and looks over towards Slag. Sir, is what young Willow says is this true? Is there something happen?
It is true. I can't venture a guess at what these monsters were, but they were definitely monsters, as my good friend Billy over here would tell you. He's very knowledgeable about these things, and he has this sight. He saw... Billy, tell him what you saw. Well, no, listen to him. Listen to Billy. Billy, what did you say?
A very strong word. Let's not use any incendiary language. It could just be bandits or such. It was bandits? Oh, there's bandits on the road.
If you prefer accuracy, they were dead men that were bloated and animated.
Everyone inside the folk.
Billy, is there a word for animated?
You start like shuffling you guys inside now,
God.
the folk at this point.
Slag, do you still have the poison on you?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my
but
God,
I ignore
you
pain.
ignorant, stupid city folk. Do you need proof? Do you need proof? And I'll start doing the same thing to you that I did to myself earlier. Well, I'll start licking the poison off of you. Just trying to...
Everyone around. Okay, in the middle of town square, while people are panicking and calling out monsters.
Moving people inside.
That's really what you're going to do?
Moving people.
As you're being ushered inside.
Alderman.
I may have a tag of
Push him off
insensitive.
as soon as his tongue came near me.
I think that is what he would try
building.
to do. It may not get
Okay.
there. I have insensitive as a tag. He probably would, because he's annoyed that they don't believe us.
No one said they didn't believe you. He just said, maybe not out in the middle of the square. If anyone who wants to have an intelligent conversation into the folk, you can stay outside, sir. He kind of puts up a hand. You can stay outside. Gentlemen, he gestures towards Slag and Spoonbill and, Dimity, Mila, yes, come inside, yes. And you can see he's trying to gesture like a couple people inside.
Yeah, and I would say that Dimity finds Willow's parents or family or something and kind of moves Willow along to trusted adults while we have this other conversation.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. And at a certain point, like you'll hear like a shout from somebody like out in the crowd, like Willow, up good. It's like calling out. And you can see like her mother comes racing over. Okay, so
Slag is now using his hat to, instead of wipe off poison, wipe off Gwylt's saliva, cleaning himself up.
Okay. Do you guys go inside? Do you follow like Beaks' gesture and go inside, or do you want to do something else?
I'd like to take Gwylt and say to him, like, just come in. His pox worse than his bite.
We can start the conversation and we'll fill in as needed.
Just come in. And she goes in.
Okay.
I don't know if Gwylt will listen, but...
Okay. So is anybody not going? So do you want to say they don't enter into this like what looks to be like an impromptu town meeting that seems to be unfolding as people are like asking about like monsters and things like that?
Yeah, Dimity is gossipy. She is definitely going inside for this conversation.
I'd go in. So red marshals are like the police force of the area?
Something of that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the equivalent. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
It's interesting you say
they...
that too, by the way, as as you're kind of outside of the folk court, are you allowing yourself to go in with the rest of the group?
I'd have an eye out for red marshals is about the only thing.
It's interesting that you say that, because as you get shuffled in to this building, this folk hearth, it's got this weathered timber exterior, and it's got like this steeped, pitched, like moss dusted roof, and then you can see as you push through this thick oak door that's got this heavy iron band that Slag, maybe you even helped repair at some point someday. And it's been scarred, you can see, by like just seasons and seasons of winds and such. But inside, there's this large stone hearth that's dominating the center of this space. And it's like this crackling fire that is going. It's very warm in here. And there's this amber glow that is just cascading off the walls here and there. Polished columns, like this kind of polished log columns and these grooved floorboards. You can see that there's several of these hand-carved like benches and communal tables that have been scattered about, some lining the perimeter, some more centralized. There's a few, but not many, of these like braided woolen rugs. Dimity, maybe some that your sewing circle helped to make or repair in the past. And you can see there's this savory steam of something wafting that likely has been cooked at some point in the past, or at least in the back, I should say. And we see that like there's groupings of people that start to kind of sit down together, like locals that seem to know each other. And Spoonbill, as you're coming through, you first notice that there's like this tiny little kid that's going around like kind of pickpocketing here and there. Like you kind of eye it, like you can see they're already trying to grab this and that. Like someone will put they'll put something down on the on like the table. Maybe they'll like put like a tool or something, and they'll just kind of sneakily grab it and kind of tuck it away and move to the next table. But as you're like kind of following them, your eyes suddenly lock with an older woman, kind of whitish hair, tied back. You can tell she's got some scars on her face, and she's got this old, like this kind of like faded red shirt over top of which she has like a jacket. You would know her, or at least she would know you. She's a retired Red Marshal, but her name is Alienora, and she locks eyes with you immediately as you come in, and she's staring you down, like watching every step you take as you start moving through.
Is she just kind of like gazing, like giving me a stare, or is she acting like she's going to try and talk to me, or just like
she's not moving towards you? You can see that she's kind of like with her own group on a different side of the hearth itself, on the other side of maybe that central stone hearth. You can see like every now and then the flickering fire will die down just enough to see her face. But yeah, you can kind of lock eyes with her, but she doesn't make a move to come to you.
I'll just do kind of like a nod over to her. Like I see her, just kind of try and shuffle away and avoid that.
Okay. You just kind of avoid your look. As you like wave to her, like you see like that her eyebrow raises in curiosity, but she doesn't seem to make a move towards you. No. But yeah, you definitely get the sense that she knows she recognized you for some reason.
Okay. That's fair.
Slag, you are like, you're not from Ravenhome, but you're not from far away. And more than likely you have been here before, maybe you've done some work here. Do you think there's like a local smith here that you might know professionally, or maybe a customer that you recognize in the crowd or something? What do you think?
I was thinking that maybe a couple springs back, Smith was feeling sick from like some winter flu and wasn't able to shoe some horses, and it was time to plow the field, so I came and helped him out while, before it became an emergency.
Okay. So yeah, you see as you come in, like this. What do you think? You said he's a man, woman. What do you think?
I would say it was a man, darker skin, close cropped hair, maybe like some cataracts, named Jordy.
Okay. So like you see as he's like looking around, like maybe he sees like Gwylt first, and he's just like, but then Gwylt steps out of the way, and then there you are, and then he does one of these things where he just kind of looks over towards you now, and he stands up and he's like, Slag, is that you? Oh goodness, what are you doing here? Oh, good. It's good to see you. He kind of comes waddling over a little bit. He kind of limping a bit. What brings you to Ravenhome? Not trying to take my job, are you?
No. I was on the road with my friend, and we saw some strange sights. So we came to bring warnings to you all. There's danger afoot.
I've heard there's some sort of monsters on the road. Monsters, they say. Monsters, Slag.
Saw them myself.
You don't look very good. You,
No, I feel fine. I'm just tired from travel.
You sure? You
Of course I'm sure.
You might want to... If that changes, you should go see Rosamund in the hills. I'm sure she can fix you up.
I don't need Rosamund. Like I said, I just need a nap.
Well, if you say so, if Alderman has his way, he'll put everyone to sleep here in a minute, so you'll probably be able to get a good few winks or two. Yes.
How have you been? Health is as well?
Been great. Been excellent. Yes, doing quite well, thank you. There's not many interesting concoctions to make these days, but steady work. Yeah. Springtime sees a lot of need.
What more can we ask for?
Yeah. Steady as she goes, is what I say, you know?
Same. Steady. Nothing changing, except for, well, the monsters, of course. That's new. But otherwise.
Monsters. Yes, monsters. Okay, yes. And then, he gestures and offers you, a seat if you want to, sit next to him. Hey, come join us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then... Dimity and Mila, I'm assuming maybe you see some friends or family in the crowd, as definitely the hearth is certainly starting to fill up. Do you think you see anybody you know that you might kind of either avoid intentionally or go join if they're waving at you or something like that?
Dimity, for sure, it doesn't even have to be someone that she knows. She is just doing what she does, which is, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Just monsters on the road by the barley? Yes, it's all true. Yes, of course. Every bit of it is true. And she is just anyone who she can bend their ear. Long before we get into the formal conversation, no one in the room will wonder why we're here. Because there were monsters by the barley. And Dimity is making sure that everyone is informed of that.
Okay. What about you, Mila? Anybody here that you want to call out?
I think Mila is with a friend that she has seen, named Eliza, let's say. And she just sees her in the crowd and goes and joins her for a casual conversation.
Okay. So we see you go over and you see she's maybe as she's sitting, she gives you a big smile as you come up, but then looking at you, you're a little worse for wear from the fight. Maybe you're covered in some of that goo, and then concern comes over her face and she starts maybe asking questions, but maybe we're in that classic case where the camera's just too far away, we can't hear the conversation, but we just see the two of you kind of go back and forth for a bit. It's very clear you two are very close. And so as you all kind of find your places that you're sitting here or there, or maybe Gwylt in the corner, maybe Slag by your smith friend, whatever it might be, eventually you hear the sounds of a mug, a stein smashing against a table, and you look up and you can see there's that Alderman again, Alderman Beaks, and he's standing in front and he's kind of clinking the glass, and everyone starts to quiet down. But then there's occasionally a shout, we've got monsters, Alderman, what you gonna do about it? There's monsters, they almost took my willow! And okay, everybody Everybody calm down. There's no more danger. Everything has been taken care of. Everyone just needs to calm down. The only danger here is panic, okay? Panic is the only danger. And then, Spoonbill, you notice that Red Marshal finally kind of starts looking at you as she, like, stands up, and she's just like, what are you talking about? They said there were 2 on the road. There could be 20 out in the fields. We've got to do more. We can't just sit around here and wait for them to surround us. We've got to get out there. We've got to round together. Who's with me? And you hear a couple of people like, I'm with you, Eleonora. Like, no, I'm not with you. I don't want to go out there. And then you see like this like kind of scrawny, pale looking, like farmer looking man, but he has like a big crowd of people around him, like a big group. And he's just like, no, I told all of you. I said it to you. Didn't I say it to you? I said it to you. I certainly said it to you. I said it. A calamity was coming. I said this was coming. It's coming now. It's here now. It's coming for us. It's too late. It's too late to go fight around. We gotta get out of here. They're gonna be here. And everyone's like, no, shut up, the cross. You're just such a coward. And you hear like this kind of crosstalk, shouting going back and forth. Do any of you try to like engage in this crosstalk? As you can definitely see like that scrawny farmer who Dimity Mila, you would know Macross, that's his like the family name, definitely seems to have a decent chunk of people all riled up and nervous and panicked. And then you hear them talking about like this, like, now we've got a curse eater in the house. Everything's going wrong. Like, look at him over there. And he was trying to, some foul ichor off that one. Like, everything's going wrong now. And there's a great deal of panic that already seems to be setting in. And people are like already talking about like, oh, we can get out of here. Saltonholme's not so bad this time of year. Well, what about Milkrest? We can go up to Milkrest. I've got cousins in Milkrest. So would any of you, and you can choose not to, so this is one of those cases where if you want the spotlight, just call it out. If you don't want it, that's fine too. Do you think any of you tries to say something in this case?
Oh my God, you stupid slug in a ditch, and you shut the front door. What is wrong with you? One little girl was in danger? One little girl was in danger? Yes, there is darkness in the world. You ignorant, stupid troll scrote. Yes, there was a problem. What you need to do is you just man up, you deal with it when it comes to your doorstep, you push it back, and you live to fight another day. What the hell is wrong with all of you?
The old woman with the white hair turns to you and she's like nodding along with you for a while until you said, like, until it comes to your doorstep. It's like, no, old timer, we don't wait for it to come to our doorsteps. We get out there onto its doorstep and we take the fight to them. That's what we're doing. Do you want to do that? I want to do that. There, I know you want to do it. And you can see some like big guy in the corner has got like a meat cleaver and he's like, yeah. And like there's that going on.
Oh.
And so she's like, he's like, you with me? And she calls out to you.
I think I am.
Well, give me a roll here.
Okay.
So while you're putting together a roll to kind of sway the crowd a little bit, just let me kind of let you guys know what's like. There's definitely some competing theories about events. You guys are welcome to influence them. You guys are welcome not to. And so like there's going to be kind of a push and a pull kind of going on based upon what you guys want to say. So Gwylt, since you seem to be a little bit more on the aggressive side of like just taking this stuff out, you can see that seems to get Eleonora fired up, and some of the people who seem to be following her, like they're all kind of riled up. You can take a 1 from her if you like.
Okay. So I feel like part of what's going on here is I'm finding the insecurities of the crowd around me. I'm being foul-mouthed, even tossing in, and then amidst that, trying to dispense some bitter wisdom, because I'm not saying this is an easy thing to deal with, but you need to do something. Tossing in some ancient curse words to kind of really spark the fire. But also, I'm a little insensitive because I don't really give a shit about their town.
Do you think foul mouth would be something that would actually benefit you in this case? Like you're in a room filled with decent, hardworking, rustic folk.
You know what?
You're hurling out ancient curse words and foul mouth.
I'll unclick that, but I'll keep ancient. Like, yeah, no, you're right. That's fair. me undo that.
I just in a situation in which you're trying to like, trying to sway these panicked people. I'm not sure if
you're right. I
can be swayed other ways. Okay.
I think he's like, I'll unclick that. Maybe there's like the really ancient curse word that's in there just to like shock people. But I'll take the curse word. It's more like to like shake people out of their status quo.
Okay. Yeah, I think that. Okay. We'll go with that then. There's one thing working against you that they already are panicked one, and I already have that toggled. So yeah, give it a roll. We'll make this detailed.
Detailed. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
What?
Double sixes. Yeah.
My God. That doesn't make any sense.
Okay. So maybe one of those curse words that you seem to hurl out isn't just like some random word, but it actually carries some kind of power, perhaps. And there's people around you that suddenly turn to you with like a fire, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to cower in our beds. Alderman, we're not cowering our beds. We've got ancient blood flowing through us. Yes.
Right.
We're going to rile that blood up, and we're going to get out there, and we're going to take this strange, horrible-looking fella with the foul mouth. He has that's some great bit of wisdom he's providing us. Yes. And you can, like, Alanor is like cheering. So you've got, it says 1 power, but I think if you roll double sixes, don't you get like a bonus? Am I making that up? Can't remember.
I'd have to look it up. I feel like there was
so. That sounds like
I vaguely remember that. But
was it like you have to take a consequence?
I mean, it says critical roll double sixes in the, like it has text saying critical roll double sixes.
Anytime you get a 10 or higher, you get something.
Well, you always have the minimum power. You always have a minimum power of 1, regardless of what your bonus was. But I thought there was something special for double sixes.
So.
I
feel like there is because it calls it out in the.
Okay.
In some of the previous games, there was a thing where you could take a consequence, get extra power. I don't know if that's
right. You could do that. Like you could take a consequence to gain plus one power to spend if you choose to do so. You could choose to do that too if you want. Yeah. Is that something you would want to do?
I would love to give this crowd a tag of riled up.
Okay. Okay.
And he just tuckers himself out, or whatever you want to call it, or.
Do you want to do a tag, or do you just want to do a status? I think a status probably makes more sense.
Sure.
Here.
Whatever you feel is best.
And you want to put all your power towards it?
Yeah, I really want to get this group of people like riled up to go.
So
he doesn't come into town very often. But
and I did find it. Double sixes is a success regardless of like whatever hindrances you might have.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
That's what it is.
Okay, so there isn't necessarily. Okay, so they're all riled up. So people are shouting, and people are kind of getting stirred up, and then you see the alderman is like slamming the stein again, and he's like, everyone needs to calm down. That kind of rhetoric, that kind of talk, that sounds strong, that sounds big and tough and great. But let me tell you what that's going to result in. It's going to result in people getting hurt. It's going to result in, dare I say it, people are going to die. Do we want that? Yes, some of you might be fine, but if you go gallivanting out into the wilds together with some crazed lunatic leading you off there, then I dare say we might not see some of you ever again. And you hear other people kind of shouting, like, yeah, I don't want to die. I don't want to get hurt. And I don't even like that fella. He was trying to lick that other fella outside. Who licks people in the public like that? That's not the type of person. And his goat is eating the rug. Why is it eating the rug? And everyone kind of turns and looks and etc. And then like you hear from the corner like the other group that's really panicked, and it's just like okay, we just gotta leave. We can't stay here. This is a bad place. I've been saying, I felt it in my bones since I was a kid. I felt my father felt it, his father felt it, we've all felt it in the bones. There's something bad here, and we shouldn't be staying here. And you can see a couple people are like kind of packing up. And so I'm gonna turn to the rest of you. Anybody else want to chime in here? As like you can see, definitely there's now a much more vocal component that wants to like follow Gwylt and Eleonora out into the wilds and hack some stuff up. And people are really starting to drown out the calm, like keep calm of like that Alderman Beeks is trying to do. So who would like to say something?
Yeah, I would
Go
say
ahead, Dimity.
that Dimity would, Dimity is from here, her family's from here, and so she's kind of going in that direction of like, we should not just abandon our home just because there's, something out there that could do us harm. We don't just leave. We don't just go to somewhere else. That place is their home. That is not our home. We defend our home, and whether we stay here and wait until it comes to our door or we go to it, either of those two things work, but we absolutely do not just pack up and go somewhere else. This is our home. We have made it beautiful. It's been crafted by our own hands, and we do not leave it.
Okay. Let's go ahead and put together a pool. I'm going to say Macross is going to work against you in this case, and he's like arguing against you, so you'll have a -1 from him, as he's technically a tag in this scene. I'll take care of that on my side.
So I've got Pierce through deceit, and I wanted to use that to see if anyone's like kind of being suspicious or they're saying things that are weird, or they're just kind of maybe not even necessarily lying, but like ulterior motive type stuff that they might be throwing out that's like conflicting. Anything I can pick out.
I know you're trying to do this as like you're trying to do this as like a setup action for Dimity or something like that.
Yes, the goal is a setup and just to kind of like shut down and try to like call something out or whatever to whatever dissenting voices.
Okay, give me a roll. Put together a pool. Do a detailed roll.
Okay.
And then we'll spend your power as like a boost for Dimity in some ways, depending on how you roll.
I'm thinking Pierce through deceit, maybe the sight, just to see if I can see people better through here. Maybe Soddenmore family for just used to like dealing with people. And
if we were in Soddenmore, I'd say yes, but since we're in a different, since we're not in Soddenmore, I don't know if that's going to benefit you here.
Sure, that's fine. We'll do this.
And then hang on before you roll. Let me unclick a few things. Okay. All right. Oh my god.
Okay. Well.
that is snake eyes on that roll. Okay. Okay.
Back to back, double 6 and then double 1.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
So here's what I'm gonna say. We're gonna give you as like, since you're kind of looking around the room and you're using the sight, like you're trying to like read people. I'm gonna say like you're looking around the room and you're not sure exactly why, but there's like weird shadows dancing around here and there, and this dizziness overtakes you. You get overwhelmed. Just like there's just too many people, too many auras, too many things, and you're gonna scratch the sight. So that's your consequence. Your sight is scratched for the time being, and you'll have to kind of get it back later as you are just like sensory overload, like this extra sensory thing that you have. And unfortunately, you're unable to give Dimity any extra insight on her roll. So as you are about to say something, you kind of collapse back down into your seat. And Dimity, go ahead and give us a roll.
Okay, so I've got Artisan, and then another tag that I have is Nobles and Merchants. So I feel like I'm trying to get the merchants on my side here.
For sure, that makes sense. Yeah.
I would say
you're using artisans because there's other artisans in the room, and you're trying to like convince.
Yeah, the pride of the work that we put into this town. I would say I have assumed to be manipulative as a weakness, which feels like it could come into play here when I'm trying to convince people of something. And then you said that there was.
You don't have to use the weaknesses, by the way. I'm not. Like, you can choose to do it or not to do it. That's up to you.
Do it.
And you said I already have a -1.
You do have one thing working against you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the sheer fact that you're trying to, like, you're actively directly opposing Macross, who's trying to get people to flee, and you're telling them not to. So,
yeah, I'm gonna leave it with the two the 2 tags.
Go for it.
All right, 9.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to put your power, your 1 power, towards, towards like kind of helping Gwylt's argument to kind of get people to, like, take the initiative, or do you want to put it into something else?
I'm good to. I'll be a team player. I'll throw it towards that.
Okay. And so you do have a consequence coming back from you. I'm going to just say the consequence is, like, Macross is just going to kind of stare at you at this point. Is maybe you say something, you overstep. Like, maybe you call him a coward or something of that regard. And, like, you can see he eyes you down at that point, like, with, like, this sudden shock that you would say such a thing to him.
Yeah. Just like, how dare we, like, give up our all of our hard work and our families, namesake businesses and homes and all of these things. Like, how dare we turn our back on that so easily?
Okay. And so then, like, we hear Alderman is continuing to try to, like, calm people down. Eleonora is, like, cheering on, like she's like, even the old needleworker's ready to stab some of these. Just got more spine than you, Macross. And so, like, everyone kind of cheers and looks over at you, and, like, Gwylt is, like, over there licking something, and, like, you can tell that the crowd is really starting to turn towards, like, people of them are picking up, like silverware. Some of them are, like, brandishing, like, hunting knives or knives they just have their belt, and, like, they're ready to work. And, like, some of them are, like, reaching down and getting torches and kind of really starting to form a mob in some way. But Alderman is continuing to try to, like, everybody, please stop this! Stop this senseless violence here. And then, does anybody else, does Slag or Mila, want to pitch in here? I know that the other 3 have kind of jumped in. Do either of you want to kind of jump into this at all? As you definitely see, like, there's a groundswell towards, like, this aggressive move to go out and hunt more of these things down.
Even you, go ahead.
I think Slag probably did not chime in much during this. He doesn't like putting himself in the middle of a crowd. But if there was ever any point where, like, the alderman was saying that they're not monsters, that the only thing to fear is panic, Slag would want to, like, he would be factual about it. Like, no, this is what we saw. These are the things, and they definitely are a threat. He wouldn't necessarily be trying to rile anyone up. He wouldn't be trying to calm them down either, though. So I think he's mostly just willing to go with what the mob decides, I guess, at this point.
Okay. Give us a roll then. Because Alderman is trying to say, like, there's nothing out there to fear. There's no monsters. It's not. Everyone needs to. You're seeing shadows now. And so, yeah, give us put together a roll, and obviously, since you're speaking directly against Beaks in this situation, we'll say he's working against you. But since you're not specifically, like, riling up Eleonora, we'll say she's not working for you.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I would argue then that I am being. Actually, I'm not sure that counts for much of anything here. I think this is just going to be a straight roll for me. I can't really figure out how to apply much of this. I think because I'm being so passive about it.
Deep thinker, like you're thinking about, like, because you're not jumping into, like, the crazy arguments of let's go kill them. You're just saying, like, you're thinking a little bit more deeply about you're caring about nuances at a time in which no one else seems to care about nuances right now. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. We'll go with that one.
See what else you got. Persistent. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought about persistent too, but the only thing he's persistent about is that they are monsters. He's not really persistent about.
Yeah. Take it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Seriously. Like, in this game, like, if it makes sense, talk yourself into it as opposed out of it.
All right. We're going with 2 then.
Okay, cool. Alderman is calling Willow a liar. Like you.
That's an
Awesome.
11.
Phenomenal roll. Do you want to do the same thing as Melissa and just kind of put it towards like this crowd that's like you see where the momentum is starting to surge? Is that what you want to do for this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm
right.
coordinated with Dimity.
Okay. And so you and Dimity and Gwylt and Alienora, like your voice suddenly carries, at this point. Maybe Jordy even helps get people's attention. And you give this measured explanation. Like there are monsters, like that is not up for debate. And that from a person of your kind of demeanor with Jordy's stature, like supporting you, you just see that as much as Alderman tries to quiet the crowd down, it's not happening. And you see as everyone just starts standing up and they start marching out. Alienora is out in the front of them, the white-haired older woman. You can see that she's just charging people out into the square, and she's pointing to different people that she knows that she can trust. As you're going to take a group, and you're going to take it. You head out eastward, northward, southward, and then calling out different landmarks to go search, and this way and that. And this crowd just continues to funnel out, leaving just a handful of folks that are kind of frightened, like Macross, but they're slinking out a different entrance. And you can see a clearly defeated Alderman. It's watches and sort of frustration and maybe a little bit of horror as this angry, scared mob leaves out of the folk hearth to essentially race out in the night into the wilds to try to hunt down any other monsters that might be lingering there. And that's where we're going to go ahead and stop for this first session, and we will pick up on the.
We
goodness!
Made it back safely, and we've informed everyone of the danger, and they are sufficiently motivated.
All right.
Most fantasy RPGs, you go out and you fight the monsters yourself. In this one, why do that? You can get the mob to do it for you.
No.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right.
If you traumatize a little girl, that qualifies as winning a combat.
Mm-hmm.
Mission accomplished. And then inside a mob, double win.
This is what happens when you get rid of hit points. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, let's do a couple closing plugs and we'll get on out of here. My Trey, you run a YouTube channel. What do you do?
I do. I'm at Multiplace Games on YouTube, where I make system agnostic or multi-system tabletop content that centers the team of placements.
Fantastic. Stephen, you, speaking of games and making games, you make one of these things. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I have made one of these things. It's called Huckleberry. It's a Weird West action horror game. Think Hellboy and Tombstone. It is available for pre-order right now. Go to huckleberryrpg.com/pre-order. Use code LOLLY to save a couple dollars. And it is actually going to be delivered here pretty soon. We're going to print, and we'll be delivering to backers here in just a couple months.
That's awesome. Fan-freaking-tastic. As for us, streaming stuff, we stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Our next stream is Tuesday night. We're going to be playing through some Wild Sea. Thursday nights, we're doing some Coriolis, The Great Dark. And on Saturday, we're playing through the One Ring 2nd Edition. And you can see a lot of the same faces that you see on the screen in a lot of those different games. And I should also mention Legendinthemist. Go check it out. It's also coming out soon, delivering soon, and the PDFs and stuff are available. So you should definitely go check it out as Launchfest continues. But that's it for us. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.